All right, we're now at the 1500 round update for my Oracle Arms 2311. You'll see it looks a little different now, and that is because in the past 2.5 months, it was at Oracle Arms getting fixed. So as you might have seen from the other videos, I was kind of having an issue with how this gun was sprung, and last time I had shot it, before it got sent off, my front sight had left, so now I have a Dawson blacked out, and you can see in the 508T there is no co-witness whatsoever. But anyway, yeah, so when I was swapping that front sight out, I noticed that I had a couple chips in my barrel and a dent on the frame dust cover area. So I contacted Oracle Arms about that and the springing issue, and came to the conclusion to just send it in. So I did. And for reference, their customer service people are very nice and very fast to deal with. I do believe there's some kind of disconnect between them and then the people who do the maintenance gunsmithing kind of stuff. There's some kind of disconnect there, but things happen. So I got it back maybe 2-3 weeks ago. You can see no longer chips in the barrel, and I will put in a picture right now of the chips. And as for the springing, there's a bit of confusion coming from Oracle. At first, they were going to take a look at the actual action springs. The question was the recoil spring, because as I had mentioned in previous videos, I kind of found a fix, but then it led to some reliability issues. So to recap, they said at first, these take any X5 spring. So I had a Gray Guns 15-pound X5 spring, put it in, had the issues we talked about. Okay, they email me, they say, oh, well, actually, it's any 5-inch 1911 spring. Okay, bought a Springco 5-inch 1911 spring, put that in, same issue. Then they said, well, actually, it's a flat wire full-size 1911 spring. And I searched high and low, couldn't really find one, except for Wilson Combat had one in the poundage that I was looking for, and I bought it. And the problem is that the guide rod is too fat for those type of springs. So I told Oracle Arms all this, and I eventually just said, can you just send me a link to what you're talking about, because I can't find anything that fits what you're saying. And they said no, they can't R&D all the springs, blah, 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 blah. Essentially figure it out on your own, and there's really no, at least that I can find, 15-pound flat wire, full-size 1911 springs that are big bore for this guide rod. So that was kind of disappointing. So they also, initially they sent it back with the poorly finished slide stop side release. Another email, got a new one, as you can see. So that's been fixed. Chips are fixed, as we noticed. So how has it been shooting these last 500 rounds? It still feels undersprung, and in my emails with them, they say they do that on purpose. It's supposed to be that way. Odd choice, but okay. They also mentioned when they were fixing this gun, they asked me to send it in with the recoil spring I was trying to use. So that was the Springco full-size 1911 15-pound. And they said, when they had it, they're like, we think your spring is out of spec. And yeah, that's just not possible because it ran perfectly fine in my P320. But they're going to do what they want to do. So now that it's back, right, it still has that light spring kind of issue. The trigger now, it feels like they cleaned it up a little. However, while it's cleaner, it is less consistent trigger pull to trigger pull. And that brings me to my next thing. In the 2.5 months it was at Oracle Arms, I bought a trigger gauge. So let's take a look if I'm right in that this is heavier than the 4 to 4.5 pounds they say on their website. You have to bear with me, filming this is a little difficult. So you can see that one was over 5 pounds. And let's do it one more time again. Bear with me here. And that one was 6.5 pounds. So obviously those are both heavier than 4 to 4.5. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, when I got this back, right, I sent it there without an optic, did a fresh install with their new supposedly fixed optic plate and the 508T, because I was not going to use this for competition given the issues I'm having. And installed it, and I sent it in to get fixed at like 12 to 1300 rounds, and now we're at 1500 rounds. In those couple hundred rounds, this optic plate has come loose roughly every 50 rounds. So I have taken off and reinstalled this optic plate 4 to 5 times. I tried my normal drop of blue Loctite on the screws, came loose, did it again, coated all the threads, put it on, got loose, did it again, and now there is a comical amount of blue Loctite in there because I am tired of it getting loose. So where are we at the end of the day with this gun? I'm still gonna get it to 2,000 rounds and do a full-fledged, review kind of video on it. As of right now, I'm not necessarily happy with it. If Oracle wanted to work with me in terms of trying to figure out what the deal with this is, I'd be open to it. But it's already, I've emailed them about like 3/4 of the small parts on this thing. I've sent it in. This is supposedly how it's supposed to be from the factory per their emails with me. I should not be having any issues after getting it back. And, it does reliably work. It does go off, but it's like all the small, not even small, but like all the, everything besides just going bang has been giving me issues. So I'm kind of thinking of potentially cutting my losses after the 2,000 round milestone, and potentially getting the 2022 FN high power and getting it optic cut so that I have a ambidextrous single action only gun. But that is the update. Hopefully it gets better. They got 500 rounds. We'll see.